Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sarah Centrella Show. It is New Year's Eve. Happy New Year to everyone out there. I don't know about you, but 2025 was a lot, as I've shared on this podcast in the last several episodes. I won't go into all of that, but I did want to jump on and do a quick episode to share with you all of the rituals that I have been doing for the last decade plus at the end of every year and the start of every new year. And those rituals have delivered insane results for me every single year as far as manifesting goes. I typically will manifest about 75% of what I write down in my New Year, beginning of the year homework. It's so powerful. So I just wanted to get on, encourage you to do this work, do this homework, do this personal work, this deep work, because it can absolutely, completely change your life. So that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. I'm going to share each of the exercises. I will have links here in the show notes for the specific journal prompts and different exercises for you to do to just get the most of this little window in time that closes out the last 9 years. This was year 9 in the 9 year cycle, and 2026 marks year 1 in the next 9 year cycle. So for me, that was very, very powerful. I certainly felt this last year the endings of definitely not just things that were happening in 2025, but the full 9 year cycle. I mean, my children graduated high school and college and moved away. Those were huge endings to a 9 year cycle for me. Plus, I turned 50 and just all these other things. So there was a lot. It was a lot of learning. Oh my gosh. It will take me a long time to process kind of everything that happened in 2025. But when I did sit down this last week and really reflect and try to kind of put all the pieces together, I realized that it was also just a humongous manifesting year for me. I manifested some of the biggest things I've ever manifested in my life in this last year. And when I sat down and read my homework, this New Year's homework that I did in 2023, so 2 years ago, I realized, oh my God, I have actually manifested every single thing that I had written down 2 years ago. There wasn't one thing on my life plan story from 2023 that I have not already lived, which is just insane. It's so insane. I manifested the love that was like exactly how I had written it there. I manifested a new book deal that has already come out. Look at her. I'm holding her. This is Think It. I just got my author copies. She's gorgeous. I cannot wait for you to get your hands on this book. It is going to be the book. I'm telling you, you guys. Um, but all the different things that I had written that, of course, were all fantasy back then because none of them were my real life at that point. So it's just so crazy and predictive this work is. And you can get those results too. So the first one that I wanted to talk about is a tweak, I guess, on a releasing exercise that I've been doing for over a decade. So in the coaching that I do, the private coaching that I do, we go through in Unblock It, which is step 2 of my method, a releasing exercise where we are releasing limiting beliefs that no longer serve us. We're kind of identifying them, releasing them, and burning them. And that is super powerful. So if you have not done that, go ahead and do that. This year, I did a little bit of a tweak because it was the end of the 9 year cycle. And so I really went back and I thought, what are the identities that I've held over the past 9 years, or maybe my whole life, that are no longer accurate? They are no longer who I am or who I want to be. Because they say to fully transform, you have to be willing to let go of old identities, of your old personality, in order to embrace the new. And over this last decade, I've done so much personal work to really transform into the woman that I want to be, living the life that I want to live. But I had realized that I was also very much holding on to or hanging on to old identities that were actually the complete opposite of what I wanted to be, what I have been working hard to transform into. And so kind of having all that click together the other day and just sitting down and writing it out was super powerful because I'd realized that without even knowing it, I had been kind of fighting myself for the last several years. And I'd felt that struggle, that internal struggle that was still trying to hold on to the old version of me, that version from my origin story, that version of a girl who came up from nothing, who had nothing, who is, who can hustle, who can make nothing out of something. Like all of those are very embedded in who I am as a person, who I've always been. Um, and of course, my story, the story that everybody knows, and then even deeper, my childhood story, which goes even deeper into all of that. So it was very much a part of my identity, part of my personality. But what I've realized is that where I want to go, a place of total ease and abundance and um, sophistication and polish and class and just all of the things that I am ready to step into in this next journey of my life conflict with who I used to be. They aren't who I am anymore. And so, in order to really embody who I've worked hard to become, I have to let go. I have to be willing to kill off that old version so that I can fully embody the new. And for the first time, I was able to really just do that and let that go. And when I did, it felt like the weight of the world was off my shoulders for the first time in so many years. It felt so good, felt so aligned. And it really showed me how much I can choose my identity. I will always be a person who is empathetic, who is kind, who is approachable, who is humble, all the things that have always mattered to me. I don't have to kill those off. Those don't have to only be part of me because I used to struggle or because I came from nothing. They can be all the good parts of me that I take into this next version. And that was kind of mind blowing to me to really see that and be able to separate that out. And it just feels really, really good. So that is the first exercise I would give you is it's a reflection where you're reflecting over this last year and then take it beyond that, reflect over the last 9 years and ask yourself, what is no longer serving me? Whether it is an identity, whether it is part of my personality or my characteristics or my character traits or a limiting belief or people in my life, what is no longer serving me that I want to leave here, that I do not want to take into the new year, into a new decade. And once you have that list written out, then you burn it. Let it go. Burn it, release it, let it go. And then your second assignment, and again, these are the assignments that I'm having all of my clients do this week. I was literally on 6 hours of coaching calls yesterday and today with all my clients going through each steps of these homework for them because this is a super powerful, energetic week. It is one of the best times of the entire year for you to do this work. So all my clients know, and we're booking all their sessions. But the second one then is almost the reverse of that, and that is the I receive list. So at the very top of mine, I put in 2026, I receive. And under that, put everything you want. And it should also be the opposite of the identities that you just burned or the limiting beliefs that you just burned. So, if an old identity for me was hustle and struggle, then a new identity for me is ease. This is my era of ease. This is my era of magnetism. This is my era of being powerful, being successful, being all the things that I personally have wanted to be. So, what are yours, right? What is this new era calling in for you? And who are you going to be? So, you write out everything that you receive. You can put in there, if you're ready to up level in your job, I receive a promotion, I receive new opportunities, I receive love, I receive abundance, I receive respect, I receive whatever those are for you. So make sure that you write everything that comes to mind on that list. It's a very important list. And then number 3 is we write out our life plan story. Now, this is a homework assignment from Hustle, Believe, Receive, my very first book. And it's one that my clients have been doing for well over a decade. It is super powerful. This is the one that comes to life every year for me. One that I go back and read each year just to see how crazily it showed up in my life. And I've been manifesting off of this list for, gosh, I think the first time that I ever wrote it was in 2011, or the first time at least I published it on my blog that year. And that one came true exactly as well. So it's powerful. Make sure that you really think about what you're writing because you are writing your future into existence. No lie. And I will put the link to an article that I wrote on Substack that has all the journal prompts in it and everything, the whole assignment. But in essence, you are really taking a moment to think about your life 5 years from now and take the time to think about like how old you're going to be then, like what does life look like? But this is all an imaginary life. This is your best case dream life. So in truth, much of it is not going to look like your current life, or it shouldn't, because it is all best case scenario in each of these things. And you're really pushing the ceiling on what is possible for you and what your big vision could possibly be. And you're doing that around all 5 categories of your life. So you're looking at what is the best case scenario in myself, my mind and body. How do I look? How do I feel? How do I take care of myself? And then you're looking at your relationships category. Who's in my life in 5 years? Maybe I want to manifest or attract love or business partners or best friends. Whatever the case is, what does that life look like? What are you doing with those people? How do those interactions make you feel? And then you're going to the next category, which is wealth and abundance. Okay, so if money is no option and I can do anything I want whenever I want, and whatever is paying me is something I love and enjoy doing, how would I spend that money? So does that mean I'm taking a trip or that I'm in my beautiful home and my chef is cooking dinner for my friends and family? Like, what does that look like for me? It's different for everybody. So you flesh that part out as well. And then the last one is your passions and joys. So what are you making time for that you do because it brings you joy? Do you love to golf? So you do that. Do you love to cook? So you're taking cooking classes. Whatever your passions and joys are, how are you integrating that into your life? And how is that giving you a fuller, less stressed, and more balanced, joyful life? So you write all of that down, the best case scenario of everything. You draw a visual picture of what this life looks like in your mind. You do that with words because you're writing a story. And then our last one is, of course, to make a future board. So you have to then take all that beautiful story and go find the images that represent everything in your story and put them on a board and put that board in a place where you can see it every single day. And you go on Pinterest to find all the pictures, and you literally, if part of your story was, I have a private chef cooking us dinner, then you go in and you type in private chef, home dinner, family at table, photography, and boom, you start scrolling until you see the one that almost looks exactly like what you were thinking. And that is the magic of a future board. It is that tailored, it is that custom, it is just your vision, the one that you created in your own mind, come to life. And as you're starting to put those pictures together, it's the first time that that vision, those thoughts are starting to form a reality. They're literally pictures in front of your face now. And that is its first iteration of it starting to come together and manifest. And then it's going to start showing up in all kinds of ways, big, small, exact pieces of all the versions from now till forever. I mean, I'm still manifesting stuff off board 1 12 years ago. So it keeps coming in different iterations. over and over and over again. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful way to live. And you have so much control of your life. I just want to remind you, you have so much control over your life, so much more than you think. It all starts with your mind. So, what are you thinking? Grab Think It. It gives the 7 tools that I've been coaching my clients on for over a decade on how to train your thinking so that you start getting what you want and you stop getting what you don't. Because believe it or not, you're manifesting today, you've been manifesting every single day of your whole life, but you might be manifesting mostly what you don't want. And it's as important to learn how to stop doing that as it is to figure out how to start getting what you do want. And that is what Think It teaches all of those tools. And I am so excited. It comes out January 27th. I am praying that this is the book that hits the New York Times bestseller list. This is book 4 for me. It has been a 10-year journey to get here. And I've always had that goal to get it on the New York Times bestseller list. And to get it on the Oprah podcast would be a dream. Those are both goals that there's no way I can do on my own. I need every single person listening to this podcast to click the link in the bio or in the show notes here and go add that to your cart. You can get it on Amazon or wherever books are sold. And for $27, you get the method that I've been teaching my clients on how to change their life, and it will change your life. I promise you, if you do the work, it will change your life. So I hope you got your copy, and I'm so excited to watch us hit this goal together because I believe this is the one. I believe it. I believe it. All right. Happy New Year. Here is to an incredible 2026. This is the year of the horse. So all of our work is paying off in this year. All the momentum is happening. I'm ready to take off. I'm ready to support you in taking off and vice versa. Let's get this energy up and let's start living our absolute best life in 2025. And until next time, I'm not going to say hustle and thrive. I'm actually going to change my slogan moving forward. Until next time, get out there and thrive, baby. Thrive. Let's go.